Good morning everyone. In today's session we are going to learn about Ampere's circuital law. So this Ampere's circuital law is an alternative for Biot-Savart law. So Biot-Savart law is used to determine the magnetic field induction due to small element, and then by integration we can find the total magnetic field induction. Now Ampere's circuital law states the closed line integral of magnetic induction field about any closed loop is equal to mu naught times the net current enclosed by the area bounded by the loop. Okay, so closed line integral means we are using this symbol to represent closed line integral. So that means we are integrating with respect to that closed loop. So we are calling that as closed line integral. So the closed line integral of magnetic induction field about any closed loop is equal to mu naught times the net current enclosed by the area bounded by that loop. So this is the statement of Ampere's circuital law. So by this statement we can understand this Ampere's circuital law is applicable only to closed loops. Okay. So now let us consider a closed loop carrying a current of I in clockwise direction. Okay. Now let us consider a small element of length dl. Now for this length, when you draw a tangent, that gives the direction of the magnetic field B. Okay. So now B bar dot dl bar is nothing but magnetic field induction about that particular element. So now we want magnetic field induction due to this closed loop. So that means B bar dot dl bar we are taking closed line integral of. Okay. So closed line integral of B bar dot dl bar means the total magnetic field induction about this closed loop. Okay. So that is equal to mu naught times I net. So therefore while applying this circuital law we have to remember closed line integral B bar dot dl bar is equal to mu naught into I net. So here whenever the current is moving into the plane of the loop, we will be indicating with cross. Whenever the current is moving out of the plane, out of that loop, we are indicating with dot. So here we have current I1 which is entering into the plane. We have current I2 which is coming out of the plane. Current I3 into the plane. Current I4 out of the plane. Current I5 into the plane. So we have to apply the sign convention for this currents. As current move into the loop, we take that as positive sign, and when current move out of the plane, we take that as negative sign. So therefore I net means we have to take the total summation of this current summa. So as I1 is moving into the plane, we are taking that as plus I1. As current I2 is coming out of the plane, we are taking that as minus I2, plus I3, minus I4, plus I5. Therefore line integral, closed line integral B bar dot dl bar is equal to mu naught into I1 minus I2 plus I3 minus I4 plus I5. So whenever you take a current of I6 here out of the loop, this current is not included in that equation as this is applicable only to closed loops. Okay. So wherever you have currents representing out of this closed loop, you should not consider that current values in this equation. So this is called as Ampere's circuital law, which is an alternative of Biot-Savart law. Okay. So now we'll see one application which is the proof of this Ampere's circuital law. As derive the expression for magnetic induction field near a long straight conductor carrying current. Okay. So now consider a long straight conductor AB carrying current of I amperes from A to B. So now the magnetic field around this straight conductor will be in the form of concentric circle. Okay. So in that concentric circle, let us consider a small element of length dl which is at a distance of r from this conductor. So now this is a plane where the force is acting out of the plane. Okay. So now when this element is at a distance of r from this conductor, a tangent drawn to that point gives the direction of the magnetic field. Okay. Now as the length of the element dl and magnetic field are acting in the same direction, angle between B bar and dl bar is considered as 0. So whenever you consider a small elemental length, it is considered as a vector. Therefore, as both are acting in the same direction, angle between b bar and dl bar is 0. So therefore, closed line integral b bar dot dl bar is equal to mu naught into I. So b bar dot dl bar, we are taking dot product as bdl cos theta ma. Okay. So closed line integral bdl cos theta is equal to mu naught I. As theta is equal to 0, we are representing theta with cos 0. So cos 0 is equal to 1. Therefore, taking b out of the integral, b closed line integral dl is equal to mu naught I. So that means this dl is integrated with respect to this closed loop to get the total magnetic field about this loop. So line integral dl bar is nothing but 2 pi r, is nothing but length of this complete loop. Therefore, b into 2 pi r is equal to mu naught I. So which gives b is equal to mu naught I by 2 pi r. So there are two equations. Magnetic induction field near a long straight conductor carrying current is b is equal to mu naught I by 2 pi r. According to Biot-Savart law, b is equal to mu naught I by 4 pi r square into sin alpha plus sin beta. Okay. And one more equation, magnetic field induction at the center of a circular coil carrying current is b is equal to mu naught I by 2 r. So straight conductor mu naught I by 2 pi r, for circular coil mu naught I by 2 r. So this is one application of Ampere circuital law. Okay. So we'll see one more application. So that is application to magnetic field induction due to uniform long cylinder. Okay, due to uniform long cylinder. Okay, so now you are considering cylinder like this. So this is the axis of the cylinder. So this is having a radius of capital R. Now we are considering a point P outside the cylinder, which is at a distance of small r. Now because of this uniform cylinder, magnetic field induction at point P. So at point P, so having this distance r is greater than capital R. So that means this point is outside the cylinder. So these are the type of three cases where we have seen in Gauss theorem third application. So trying to find out intensity of electric field due to charged spherical shell by considering 3 points, 1 point out of the shell, 1 point on the shell, 1 point inside the shell. So similarly we are trying to find out magnetic field induction due to uniform cylinder at a point P outside the cylinder, at a point on the cylinder, at a point inside the cylinder. So in the first case outside the cylinder, R is greater than capital R. So when R is greater than capital R, you can take the equation B is equal to mu naught I by 2 pi R, where B proportional to 1 by R. So in that case we have seen E proportional to 1 by R. So here B proportional to 1 by R. So next at point Q, that is on the cylinder. Okay. So that is point Q on the cylinder, where here in this case R can be considered as capital R. Okay. So in that equation you can take B is equal to mu naught I by 2 pi capital R. So no need to represent any formation. And third one is we are considering a point S, which is inside the cylinder. Okay. So at point S inside. So when it is considered as inside, R is less than capital R. When R is less than capital R, you will be taking B is equal to mu naught I by 2 pi small r into pi r square by pi r square. So B is equal to mu naught I by 2 pi r. That is for unit area. For area of cross section pi r square, that is B is equal to mu naught I by 2 pi r into pi r square. Whereas this area of cross section is less when compared to area of this cross section. Okay. So this is for total cross section of the cylinder. Mu naught I by 2 pi r into 1 by pi r square is per unit area of cross section of this cylinder, into pi r square is for that area of cross section. Okay. So now in this case pi gets cancelled. and 1r get cancelled, you will be getting B proportional to small r. Okay, so in this case, when you plot a graph by taking r along x-axis and B along y-axis, you will be plotting a graph like this, B proportional to r. So this will be happening at r is equal to capital R, where B is maximum, and after that B will be decreasing according to the relation B proportional to 1 by r. So this is similar to that of electric field strength and distance of the point from the spherical shell. Okay, so comparing that with this second application, we can plot a graph between magnetic field induction and distance of the point. Okay, so I think these two applications are clear. Thank you.